Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the weekly market analysis. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do also click on the subscribe button and smash notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. So we are heading into the second week of the last month so far as the year 2023 is concerned, and I think right after this week, so far as the month of December is concerned, you're not really going to see any massive movement or a lot of volatility within the market. And so based on that, on this note, this is going to be my last weekly market analysis for the year 2023. All right, yes, because experience has made me aware that within the last month of the year, we get much volatility in the market within the first 2 weeks. Right after the first 2 weeks, then we enter into the Christmas holidays. That is when volatility begins to reduce in the market. Trust me, you might not want to involve yourself within that market, especially if you're a swing trader. That market is not for you at all. Not at all. It's never for you. You are going to burn all your money within those periods. So just take note of that. All right. So that is just that. Experience has taught me this, and I'm sharing it with you. So make sure you take it very, very seriously. So last week was so busy for me off the charts. All right. I can't recall when I even sat behind my chart the whole day, or for some short period of time. So far as last week is concerned, it was a very very busy week for me. So whatever happened last week, let's just put it behind us and see what is yet to happen as far as going into a new week is concerned. And we had an NFP week last week, which was positive for the dollar. So going forward, we see what will happen within this week. And this week we have a lot of high impact news. All right, let's check the economic news calendar and see what is yet to happen as far as the economic news is concerned. On Monday, the 11th December 2023, we have the Westpac Consumer Confidence Change for the month of December for Australia. On Tuesday, we have the business confidence for the month of November for Australia. We also have the unemployment rate for the month of October for GBP. We have employment change for the month of September for GBP. We have the economic sentiment index for the month of December for Germany. We have CPI for the month of November for USD, inflation rate month over month for the month of November for USD, core inflation rate month over month for the month of November for USD, core inflation rate year over year for the month of November for USD, inflation rate year over year for the month of November for USD, then CPI for the month of November for USD. They also have a large manufacturers index for the fourth quarter as far as the Bank of Japan is concerned. On Wednesday, there's this Malta Republic holiday. I mean, it has no effect on the market, so just ignore that. We have goods trade balance for the month of October for GBP. We have goods trade balance non-EU for the month of October for GBP. We have GDP month over month for the month of October for GBP. So currently the GDP for England or Britain sits at 0.2%, and they are looking at the GDP month over month giving us minus 0.1%. So let's see what happens. This is a very major news that you should focus on if you are trading GDP related pairs. Then we have producer price index for month over month for the month of November for USD. We also have the Fed interest rate decision, all right, for USD. So currently interest rate for the US sits at 5.5%, and they're looking at maintaining interest rate. So let's see what happens. So right after the interest rate decision, we'll have the Fed press conference. So we take note of that. All right. Yes, this is going to be very important. This Fed conference is going to be very, very important. If the whole of 2023 you've never listened to the press conference for the Fed, do want to listen to this one, because this one will really, really give out information going into the year 2024. Because I mean, this is the last press conference for the Fed as far as the year 2023 is concerned. So if the whole of 2023 you have missed out on the press conference for the Fed, make sure you watch it. All right, make sure you watch it because it will really be packed with a lot of information going into 2024. Yeah. So on Thursday, December 14, 2023, we have the unemployment rate for the month of November for Australia. We have employment change for the month of November for Australia. We have CPI for Spain. We have Bank of England interest rate decision. Interest rates currently sit at 5.25%, and they are looking at maintaining interest rates. So let's see what happens. We have the ECB interest rate decision. That is for the whole eurozone. Interest rate sits at 4.5%. They are looking at maintaining interest rate. Let's see what happens. We have retail sales month over month for the month of November for USD. Retail sales year over year for the month of November for USD. We have retail sales ex autos month over month for the month of November for USD. We have retail sales excluding gas and autos for the month of November. That's month over month for USD. We have continuing jobless claims getting into or as at the second week in December for USD. We have the continuing jobless claims for a week average for USD. Initial jobless claims for the month of December for USD. Then the ECB press conference. All right, this press conference too is going to be very important to listen to. All right, which is going to affect the whole eurozone. So if you trade euro related pairs, of which I know 99% of retail traders do. All right, yes, because I mean, once you trade a major currency pairs, you can't single euro out. All right, so if the whole 2023 you've never listened to any press conference as far as ECB is concerned or the eurozone is concerned, do want to listen to this press conference because it's going to be very key going into the year 2024. Then you have the Judo Bank Service PMI for the month of December for Australia. Then you have Judo Bank Manufacturing PMI for the month of December for Australia. On Friday, we have Manufacturing PMI for France, Service PMI for France, Manufacturing PMI for Germany, Service PMI for Germany, Manufacturing PMI for the whole Eurozone, Service PMI for the whole Eurozone. Then you have CPI for the month of November for Italy. We have the Global CIPS Service PMI for GBP, Global CIPS Manufacturing PMI for GBP. We have the Empire State Manufacturing PMI for USD, then the Global Manufacturing PMI for the month of December for USD, then the Global Service PMI for the month of December for USD. Yeah, so that is just that for the high impact news. As you can see, is a whole lot of high impact. So going into next week, expect a lot of volatility in the market. So let's delve into the chart and see what is happening. Kindly forgive me, I'm experiencing some little bit of cold, so there has been a little bit or a slight change in my voice. So kindly pardon me on that. All right, yeah. So for the dollar index, we've seen price pushing to the upside. Just as I made you aware, we saw a positive value or positive numbers as far as NFP is concerned. So as it stands now, we've seen price taking out a swing high right here. All right, yes, price has taken out a swing high right here, right? Swing low taken out, swing high taken out. So this range here is very key. All right, so as it stands now, I'll expect to see price continue to push to the upside into this huge impulse move you saw here happening. All right, that was back in November. So I'm expecting to see price push into this area right here. Yeah, so if we should switch to the 4-hour, it becomes very clear for us. Yeah, so just as we've seen, price opened in November, sorry, in December, then we saw price pushing below December's opening price. Then we saw price pushing up, taking out structures or taking out swing highs. Then we've seen price pushing. So my next draw on liquidity is going to be this high right here, as well as this high. All right, yeah, so kindly take note of that. So that is just that so far as the dollar index is concerned. So Currently, I'm looking forward to see bullish prices on the dollar index. Let's switch to GBPUSD and see what is happening. For GBPUSD, I'm currently bullish, or I'm looking forward to see bullish prices on the dollar index. All right, but on the daily time frame for GBPUSD, I'm not really seeing things clearly. All right, yes, right after having this huge impulse move, we've had a choppy price action, even though price has been moving to the upside. All right, yes, and we all know that GBPUSD is inversely related to what, to the dollar index. So whatever is happening on the dollar index, expect an inverse reaction on GBPUSD. So if I'm bullish on the dollar index, then I'll expect to be what, to be bearish on GBPUSD. But on a daily, GBPUSD is not really looking good, or it's not really looking clear for me. But let's switch to the 4 hour and see what is happening on the 4 hour time frame. Yes, so I think the 4 hour is giving us some clarity. All right, you've seen price pushing to the downside for some time now. You saw price take out this major low right here, and we saw price reversing back into this zone. All right, yes, I hope many of you took it, because this is a very perfect entry, all right, to take a sell. Then we saw price pushing to the downside. I'm still expecting to see price continue to push to the downside, and once you've taken out this swing low right here, this low will be my next focus. I'll expect to see price take out this low right here. All right, yes, so I will expect to see price take out this low, then a little bit of retracement for an entry, then a push to the downside. So my next draw in liquidity is going to be this low right here, then this low. All right, yes, so let's see what happens going into next week. So that is my expectation so far as GBPUSD is concerned. Let's switch to the next asset class or the next market to see what is happening. We jump into AUDUSD. Yeah, so for AUDUSD too, we are seeing price action pushing to the downside. All right, right after an impulse move to the downside, we saw price giving us some level of correction. Then on Friday, we saw price closing with a bearish candle. So as it stands now, I'll expect to see price continue to push to the downside. All right, yes, I was expecting last week, I was expecting price to take out this low, and it did exactly that. All right, yes, and as it stands now, if I'm to enter into a long-term trade on AUDUSD, the level I would want price to take out before I start planning of an entry is this level right here. All right, or this low right here. All right, I want to see price push or take out this low, and once this low is violated, this bearish candle you see right here becomes a breaker block. All right, take note, it's not yet a breaker block. All right, it's not yet a breaker block, but I'm expecting to see price take out this low. Once this low is being taken out, that is where this bearish candle qualifies to be a breaker block. We wait for price to retrace a little bit into the zone for an entry, then you see a push to the downside. All right, of which the next draw on liquidity is going to be this low right here, as well as this low. So that is just that. So far as AUDUSD is concerned, let's switch to the next market and see what is happening. That is USDCAD. So the dollar index giving us a bullish sentiment, then definitely we should see USDCAD also giving us a bullish sentiment going into next week. All right, yes, we've seen price taking out the previous 20-day low, the previous 40-day low, right? And as it stands now, if we should switch to the 4-hour time frame, we realize that price, all right, actually last week I was expecting price to continue the bearishness on USDCAD, but turns out that we saw price meandering around, right, of which it really gave me the indication that we are likely to see price push up for some time. So as it stands now, I'll expect to see price finally take out this high right here. All right, I'll expect to see price take out this high. Once this high is being taken, this bullish candle we are seeing here, I don't know if you are seeing, but let me zoom in for you to see. This bullish candle we are seeing as the last down close candle prior to price taking out this low right here will become a bullish breaker block. All right, it is not yet a bullish breaker block. Take note, it is not yet a bullish breaker block. Once we see price violating this high, that is when this bullish that is when this bullish candle becomes a bullish breaker block. You can also decide to even add up this candle as well. All right, so 1 2, so these bullish candles right here. So once price violates it, that is where it becomes bullish breaker block. You wait for a little bit of retracement into the zone, then we see price or expect price to push to the upside, of which my next draw on liquidity will be this clean high right here, this high right here. All right, yeah. So far as USDCAD is concerned, that is my expectation. Let's switch to the next market and see what is happening. That is GBPJPY. Yeah, so for GBPJPY, I've seen GBPJPY last week or Friday gave us a very huge impulse move to the downside, taking out the previous 20-day low as well as the previous 40-day low. So as it stands now, we expect to see some level of correction. All right, we expect to see some level of correction, at least filling up 50% of this impulse move will be okay for me. All right, yes, if price fills more than 50%, that is when we are likely to see a run to the upside. All right, but I want to see price fill up 50%, all right, to form a lower swing high. Then we see a push to the downside. But in situation where we see price filling more than 50%, let's say to this area, okay, if price gets to this area, then my focus is going to be this level right here. All right, yes, this wick right here. For this wick, I have said something about this wick some time back, or I said something about this wick some time back. All right, yeah. So those of you that have been watching my weekly analysis understand the language I'm throwing out or whatever I'm trying to say. All right, yeah. So for the sake of you, that person watching for the first time, let me just re-echo it. This is a wick. All right, this is a wick on a daily time frame, but trust me, this is very useful. When you go to the lower time frame, you realize that this wick we are seeing here becomes a candle. So kindly take note of that. So if price you feel 50% of this impulse move right here, then this level right here should be your focus. This level right here should be your focus. If price also violates this zone right here, then definitely you see price push to the upside. So take note of that. All right, kindly take note of that. So that is just that. Let me see, I want to show you something. All right, yes, I want to. So let me extend this to the 4-hour for us to see something. All right, let's see if we can even go to the 2-hour. Let's switch the 4-hour and see. I want to really prove to you that wicks like this on a higher time frame, you don't just ignore it. All right, you mark those zones and then switching to the lower time frame, realize that it is very, very useful. All right, yes. So just as you can see here, all right, this is the wick that I marked out on the daily time frame. I realize that it is a breaker block. All right, or it is a bearish breaker block. And so if price fails to, or if price exceeds the 50% retracement, that is the next level I'm looking at. All right, and looking at even the 4-hour, we have a fair value gap right here. All right, this between this low and then this high right here, that is a fair value gap. All right, and I think that is within the 50% retracement I'm expecting to see on the daily time frame. All right, so if price exceeds this, this is the next focus. If this area is being violated to the upside, and definitely you see price pushing to the upside. So kindly take note of that here. So that is what I'm expecting to see so far as GBPJPY is concerned. Let's look at what is happening on Euro JPY. Yeah, so GBPJPY, Euro JPY, I think the same thing. All right, you saw price even as a what, an impulse move to the downside, but with Euro JPY, price has already taken out the previous 60-day low. All right, price has taken out the previous 60-day low, and so with this impulse move, if price will continue pushing to the downside, a 50% fill and then a formation of a lower swing high within the 50% zone will be very, very key. All right, if price exceeds the 50%, then our focus is going to be on the breaker block. All right, this is a breaker block. So unlike GBPJPY, where we saw a wick of which the breaker block was on the 4-hour time frame, for Euro JPY we are seeing this breaker block right on a daily time frame, which is very clear in our eyes. All right, yeah, so this breaker block. All right, yeah, so kindly take note of that. If price should violate the breaker block to the upside, and definitely you see price continue to push to the upside. But even with that, I think we even have a fair value gap right here. All right, just below the previous 20-day low, there's also a fair value gap right here. So there is a lot of PD arrays to look at on Euro JPY so far as the daily time frame is concerned. So if one fails, you look at the other. If one fails, you look at the other. That is how you look at price action. All right, yeah. So if this fair value gap is also exceeded, or if price violates this fair value gap to the upside, and definitely you see price continue to push to the upside. Yeah, so that is my expectation so far as Euro JPY is concerned. Let's look at what is happening on the gold market. Yes, so for the gold market, I'm expecting to see some sells. All right, I'm expecting to see price dropping to the downside. You've seen price taking a swing low right here. So the next thing to expect is the lower swing high formation. So I'll be waiting patiently on the 4-hour time frame for the formation of the lower swing high. Then I'll see if I will take some level of trade, or I'll take an entry, look for an entry to take a trade to target this low right here. All right, yeah, so this is my draw on liquidity so far as gold is concerned. Yeah, so that is just that for the gold market. Let's look at what is happening on NASDAQ. Yeah, so for NASDAQ, we are seeing NASDAQ pushing to the upside as it stands now. All right, yes, and that really does not conform with whatever is happening on the dollar index. All right, yes, it happens sometimes. All right, it happens sometimes where you see the dollar index pushing to the upside and NASDAQ is not doing the opposite. It happens sometimes. So for NASDAQ, I will just have to ignore the dollar index and then speak to whatever I'm seeing on the chart, or whatever price action that is being shown to me so far as NASDAQ is concerned. So as it stands now, NASDAQ is pushing to the upside. All right, yes, so going into next week, we might see a retracement. So at this time, this zone right here is going to be my benchmark, or is going to be my guide. All right, yes, definitely once you've seen price pushing to the upside, taking out previous highs or old highs or swing highs, any way you put it, that tells us that price is what is pushing to the upside. So going into next week, you are likely to see price push a little bit down, then you see a push to the upside. The only time I'll begin or I'll start thinking of price pushing to the downside is when this zone is being violated and price what closes below this zone. That is where I'll begin to look forward to see price pushing to the downside. Other than that, I'll be looking for what bullish prices so far as NASDAQ is concerned. Yeah, so that is just that for the weekly market analysis. All right, that is just that for the weekly market analysis. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do also click on the subscribe button and the smash notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. And my swing trading room, trust me, next year I always say this and I laugh because I am the only person who sees what is coming, or I'm the only person who knows how the swing trading room is going to be fired up so far as next year is concerned. All right, and for your information, the old prices or the old registration packages for my swing trading room still holds till the end of December. All right, that means going into next year there are going to be changes, and I'm going forward. Yeah, so don't think that okay, there are going to be changes, so he's likely to reduce it. No, I'm going forward. All right, and I'll make changes to the registration packages because next year when it's coming, whatever is coming next year is going to be massive because the whole of the year 2023 I've made massive improvement to my charts, how I view the market and all that. So going into next year, I'm going to incorporate all that into my signals so far as the swing trading room is concerned. All right, so far as swing trading, because I mean lessons, I've learned lessons, I've made new discoveries and all that, and so that is going to come into play so far as my swing trading room is concerned when it comes to giving out signals to my subscribers. So you wouldn't want to miss out. All right, you have from now till the end of December to get into my swing trading room with the old registration packages. All right, if we enter into January 2024, the new registration packages takes effect. All right, yes, so kindly take note of that. If you haven't subscribed, please do want to subscribe to this channel as well. All right, yeah, the year 2023 has been very very interesting. All right, the year 2023 has been very interesting. And last but not least, too, I promised my Telegram community members that we'll have an open forum. All right, yes, I haven't forgotten, just that I've had busy schedules lately and all that, so that is why you haven't heard from me yet. And so just take note, this week you will get an information on that. So if you're not part of my Telegram community, just look at the description box below, the link is there, click on it and be part of my Telegram community so that you also get a chance to hop into the live streams or my audio live streaming for us to talk about the things that we need to talk about and all that going into next year. What are some of the things that we are likely to do and all that? Trust me, it's going to be very power packed that you wouldn't want to miss. Yeah, so that is just that, and I'll come your way again in okay. I'll definitely resume second week in January. All right, yeah, so expect my first weekly market analysis so far the year 2024 is concerned in second week in January. All right, second week in January. So that is just that for this week's market analysis. I wish you all good luck and good trade. Peace.